Hello and welcome back to Forza Horizon 3. Yes, today we are reviewing the brand new smoking tyre car pack with the car pack. I went, oh no, then start again. Hello and welcome back to Forza Horizon 3. Now today we're doing something a little bit different because yesterday, if you're watching this video on the day of release, a brand new car pack came out for the game. It was titled the Smoking Tyre Car Pack and it had 7 incredible cars. Well, not all of them are incredible. Some of them are a little bit, what were you doing there, Forza? But anyway, in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the 7 new cars. I'll be taking them around a track, seeing their lap times, and then over the course of the next few months, when the new DLCs are out, I will compare these cars to the ones that are coming out in the future, if that kind of makes sense. So I'm going to be reviewing the car packs to see which one may be the best for you in case you may not have the season pass and you're a bit iffy on buying it. You're wondering, are the cars actually worth it? Which one's the best from the pack? So what we're going to do is each month I will bring the cars from the DLC to here, the test track for this series, the Outback Highway Circuit. It's 2 miles long. It's got some long straights, sharp turns and elevation changes, which I think will be a demanding enough track to test the car's braking, stability, handling, speed and acceleration, etc. So every DLC that comes out, the 7 cars will be tested by myself around this track 5 times. They have 5 laps to get their fastest time. Okay? So, let's move on to the slowest car of the pack. That is the Jeep CJ5 Renegade 1976. It got a lap time of 1 minute 31.8, and it's a pretty solid D-Class car. It's what you'd expect from a D-Class car, really. A top speed of around 100 plus. Some weird gear ratios the car has. It's only got 3 gears, and then it tops out really easily. I didn't really like this car. It handled a bit like jelly, as in like there was body roll, and then you get grip. Then before you know it, you got no grip, the back end steps out, you try and correct it, and it's not a very pleasant car to drive. It's also quite slow, but there we go, that is that. Next up in 6th place is the 2010 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. It managed to do a lap time of 1 minute 20.5, and it's an all-round decent car. Like as the Jeep was in D-Class, this is a solid C-Class car. At the moment, again, I have nothing to compare it to, because obviously this is the first DLC, but it's a solid car. It's got some fantastic customizations to it. Again, being a police interceptor, you can add the lights on the top, you can add the extended wing mirrors or whatever, you can add a bar to the front of it, again, much like a police car. And I love that Forza are doing this now. It's adding aesthetic upgrades to the cars, not just spoilers and splitters, which again, I do like to see in the game, but it's nice to see that they're adding something that makes the car look so much cooler, as opposed to just making a car, it's got to be fast around a track. No, let's make it look like a police car. It's a police interceptor. Let's make it look like a police car. So this is a car that I very much like in this DLC, with a decent lap time in C-Class. Moving on to the A-Class cars now. This is the first one, being the 2000 Lotus 340R with a lap time of 1 minute 13.9. It's an alright car to drive. I really don't like the way it looks. It looks a bit like a boat. Handles interestingly, I guess. It's not the grippiest of vehicles. It will let go if you push too hard. You know, if you drive it normally, brake before the turn in, power on the exit, it's fine. But if you want to have fun with it, you can do, and it will let you. Not the fastest in terms of acceleration. It's almost doing the same speed of what the Crown Vic did up the hill. But again, it's got more than 3 gears, unlike the Jeep. And it's a decent-ish car, I guess, around a track circuit. It also falls under the category of extreme track toys, so you might want to upgrade it if you wanted to compete with the likes of the Ariel Atom, the BAC Mono, or the KTM Expo. But again, it's okay, it's nothing special, but now we're going to start getting into the much more interesting cars. Next up is the second A-Class car in the DLC, and that's the 2016 BMW M2 Coupe A. It achieved a lap time of 1 minute 10.1, so it's a solid 3 seconds faster than the Lotus. But it's a pretty interesting car to drive. It's very fun. It's a great car to drive, drift about and have a laugh with, but around a track, it really just wants to slide. In order to get a serious racing lap time, you've got to try hard, and it takes away the fun. This car wants to slide about, it wants to tell jokes and whatever, but it's as if you're taking a child who's had too many bloody fizzy drinks to a funeral. It's bouncing about all over the place, being inappropriate. It's not what you want. And this car, it's a bit of a pain in the arse when you're trying to drive it properly. It can do track racing, but I found that it just wanted to slide an awful lot, and yeah, it's not the easiest car to drive. But again, it got a decent lap time. 1 minute 10.1 is a good benchmark for other A-class cars in the future DLCs to try and beat. Now we move on to something a little bit different. This is the 2016 GTA Spano. It got a lap time of 58.4 seconds, and I don't know. It's an S2 supercar, not a hypercar, and it's, I don't know, it doesn't look the best, it doesn't sound the best, it doesn't even handle the best. The interior itself is a little bit dull, except for the dials. The dials are pretty cool. But put it this way, there are so many other cars in Forza Horizon 3 that fit into the supercar class, and I don't know, this one's just a little bit dull. It's unheard of before, and usually an underdog can be good, it can be fun, but it's as if this car was drawn by a blind person, and the person talking to the blind person had to vaguely describe a McLaren P1 through like some tin and some string, and the guy, I don't know, it's just, I don't like this car personally, but it does the job. It got a lap time of 58.4, again, a solid lap time for an S2 class car, but not as solid as the next two. In second place, it may surprise some of you, is the 2016 Aston Martin Vulcan. With a lap time of 57 seconds, it's fantastic. A glorious car that I'm so glad is in the Forza Horizon 3 franchise. It got a pretty decent lap time and is a really good car to drive around this track. It does become a little bit of a pain in the arse when trying to launch. Make sure you turn in third gear, anything lower than that, and you get catastrophic wheel spin, unless of course you're not me and you're careful with the throttle. But it is such a pleasure to drive. That huge spoiler on the back creates so much downforce. You have so much grip with high speed turns. It's fantastic. And I love this thing. I absolutely adore this thing. This, for me, is my personal favourite car of the pack. This wins it for me. And just listen to that V12. But anyway, let's move on to our final car from the DLC. This car is phenomenal. I adore this thing. Again, it's beautifully crafted, beautifully sounding like the Aston Martin Vulcan. This is the 2016 Pagani Huayra BC. 55.4 seconds is it's a brilliant lap time for it to set. This is me driving, by the way. This isn't some Forza racing expert or whatever. This is just me driving the cars as best as I can within the 5 laps. And this car, I felt, just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And it turned out that the 5th lap that I got was the fastest. And it was so much fun to drive. I love the sound when you let off the gas and then you just get that crackle from the exhaust. And to drive, again, it's got a massive spoiler, much to the like of the Vulcan. And again, it's got some serious wheel spin in the lower gears. But to launch, it's much nicer than the Vulcan. But apart from that, it's fantastic. It's a faultless car, beautiful car. And this is my second favourite of the DLC. I'm sorry, but I'm an Aston fanboy. The Vulcan will win it for me every day, hands down. But they are both fantastic cars. A pretty strong DLC to start off the Forza Horizon 3 DLC streak. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think is the best car of this DLC and if you'll be getting it or not. If you like this series, please be sure to leave that like button so I know to make more. Also be sure to subscribe to the channel as there will be plenty more Forza Horizon 3 content like this coming in the future. And on that bombshell, guys, I will see you guys in the next video, and until then, adios.